Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Jake is gone. We got my guy Jolly in the booth. A couple of gunslingers for you on this Friday. Let's start the weekend and talk some ball. I'm pitching. Oh, this is whatever. We can both.
We're switching roles today, Trev. Come on now.
Hello and welcome to Talking Baseball. Like I said, Jake, we wish you the best, but when you're not on the show and we bring Jolly in, I love it. My dirty martini, my dirty little secret. We had some really fun chats prior to this show. Jolly, how you feeling right now, big guy?
I'm good, man. You know, that 5'6" shadow, it's a tough one to fill. Jake does a great job in this show, but we're gonna pick up the weight today. I think I heard rumors that Trev is doing the burns. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm excited.
Everyone turns the show off right now, like Trev doing the burns. Jolly, we had a lot of good baseball. Walk-off Tuesday, they're calling it. My Twins are the best team in the league right now, so things are going well, except Brian Buxton and Carlos Correa colliding. That was tough for me to watch.
People just turn off the show there. There you go.
That's it. Twins sweep 11 in a row. We're done. No, we're going to talk a lot of ball. We're going to start with the AL today. But before we get into that, we're going to remind you the show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Baseball's a marathon, not a sprint. So don't miss a second of the action with our partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, all new customers who bet $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use code JMBaseball. From every game day until the champagne pops, and the trophy is lifted, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with same-game parlays, odds boosts, and so much more. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use code JMBaseball. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code JMBaseball only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Jolly, the crown is yours. Bobo, hit the music. And like your sister's Lisa Frank binder, this one was all kitties. The Tigers sweep the Red Sox. There was a blowout in game one. There was a walk-off in game two. Shout out Javi Baez. And another walk-off for my guy Malloy. 2-out pinch hit single in game three. Red Sox, you are 22-23. You're way better than this. I'm kind of going to give you a what is you doing, baby. Look, I know the Tigers are good, but my goodness, you guys got to step it up. The Tigers are hot. We'll get into them more. I got another one for you here, Jolly. Like Khaleesi in the Unsullied, Houston takes care of the Royals.
I know that one. I know that one.
That's pretty good one.
Okay, Trev.
Astros take 2 of 3. In game one, the Royals get ahead early and they hold off the Astros to win 7-5. Game 2 and 3, another early lead for KC, but Jeremy Pena's going off this season, Jolly. And how about Paredes? We knew the Crawford boxes were going to be friendly to him. Walk-off solo shot for him. A go-ahead single in the 8th for Pena in game 3. Houston kind of rolling right now. They're lurking because Kansas City was playing good ball coming into this series. Houston takes 2 of 3. We'll move out to Seattle. The Yanks went across the country and won a series. They won 2 out of 3. Battle of 2 first-place teams, Jolly. How about that? The Yanks pull away in game 1. Scary scene at the end. Oswaldo Cabrera hurts the ankle sliding into home. Game 2, Yankees tie it up on an error by Dylan Moore in the 9th. Got to make that play. Tough throw, but not really that tough a throw. J.P. Crawford then puts one down the left field line to walk off Tim Hill in the 11th. And then the Yankees win that rubber match. Judge gets a 1-1 hanging slider in the 8th to put the Yanks up by 1. Yanks win the series. Seattle playing good ball. Don't be so hard on yourself right now. How about the Guardians? They just do what the Guardians do. Milwaukee comes into town. They take 2 out of 3. The Guardians started this series off, Jolly, with 19 shutout innings against the Brew Crew. Churio with a tough play in center on a Gabriel Arias fly ball clears the bases in game 1. The usual suspects in game 2 get the job done with Ramirez and Manzardo. And then Reese says, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. Let me put the team on my back. Has a great game to salvage the series for Milwaukee. But again, Guardians just getting the job done constantly. They win 2 out of 3. My Twins, they sweep the Orioles. That's 11 in a row for this team. They're pitching out of their minds. Chris Paddock.
Twins
Holy
for clicks.
shnikes,
Twins
dude.
for clicks.
What is going on? Twins. Shohei. That's the algorithm for us. It's not all good news. We do see Correa and Buxton collide in that last game. I think they're going to be okay. They went into concussion protocol. We'll see how that goes. Twins switch up the rotation. Lots of things. We'll get into that. We're going to spend so much time on them. Let's move on to Toronto, where the Rays took 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays. Runs galore in game 1. Varsho thinks he's going to be the hero. He has a 3-run shot to put the Jays up 7-6. That's his second of the game. But a backup hanging 2-2 slider. Junior Caminero puts it in the seats for a grand slam. Varsho has a chance at the end of the game, but Mason Montgomery gets him in that game 1. Jays take game 2 on the Alejandro Kirk, a.k.a. Jake Storiale, home run. Nice bullpen game for them. 3 1/3 innings pitched. No runners except for a Simpson error. And then Rays attack Gossman for 3 homers in game 3 to take the series. Texas sweeps Colorado, and that is what happened in the American League. Jolly, do you have the standings?
I first have a round of applause for Trevor Plouffe. I mean, it's like you do it every day.
How was the timing on that?
I thought it was good. For someone who's in Cali, can't quite hear the music that good. I thought that was great, Trev.
I forgot to turn my timer on. I also forgot to do our Best Western Road Warriors segment. So let me get that in right there. That is the Twins as they go in and sweep in Baltimore. Like I said, 11-game winning streak. It's the longest in the major leagues this season. They were 4-14 on the road, Jolly. So not road warriors. And they won their past 5 road games during this winning streak. So they're now 9-14, marching their way up. Very good at home, obviously. They swept the season series, Jolly. 6-0 against the Orioles this year. That would have been more impressive, like maybe in years past. This year, we kind of know the Orioles are at rock bottom. And the bullpen, they were the real warriors here, Jolly. 11 1/3 innings pitched, only 8 hits. They had 13 Ks and no earned runs. How about it? Let me tell you something about Best Western before you get into the standings, Jolly. Today's episode is brought to you by Best Western Hotel and Resorts. Life's a trip, so why not make the most of it? With over 4,000 hotels worldwide, Best Western is there for every detour, destination, and unexpected turn along the way. Whether you're hitting the road, traveling for work, or chasing the next big game, there's a room waiting for you. But a great stay isn't just about rest, it's about what comes next. A great stay doesn't just help you recharge, it sets the tone for the early wake up, the late night arrival, or the last minute change of plans. Best Western gets it. Traveling isn't one size fits all. It's for the planners and the procrastinators, the loyalty point collectors, and the I just booked it crowd. So whether you're traveling solo, with your friends, or with the entire roster, Best Western has you covered. Pack your bag, cue up the playlist, hit the road. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. Jolly, you got those standings?
I sure do, Trev. Shout out Best Western. We love them. First place in your American League East, heading into the Subway Series. The Yankees, 25-18. Your Boston Red Sox and every other team in the American League East, under 500, 22-23. I think they're better than that. The Blue Jays, 21-22 in third place. The Tampa Bay Rays climbing those standings. They've been playing well on the road, 20-23 on the year so far. And then your Orioles, Birdland is burning down, 15-27, a deep last place, 9.5 games back. Everyone's talking about the AL Central. It's the best division in ball. First place, Detroit Tigers, 29-15, 14 games over. Up next, the Cleveland Guardians, 25-18. They're not going away. That's going to be an interesting race to watch. They're 3.5 games back. The Kansas City Royals also playing great ball, 25-20, 4.5 games back. And then the Minnesota Twins, who have been hotter than hot. They've been scalding. 11 wins in a row. They're up to 24-20 on the year. Fourth place, 5 games back. The White Sox, 14-30. They're also there. Seattle Mariners still in first place after that series loss, 23-19, just a half game back. Are those Texas Rangers that we've all been very hard on, and they're 24-21. Right behind them, the Houston Astros, 22-21. The A's playing 500 ball at 22-22, and your Los Angeles Angels, 17-25. Only 6 games back. Don't give up hope, folks. That's your American League standings.
Phenomenal, Jolly. I do think the AL is the meteor side here, some of the better series. So we'll kind of get in a little bit more here. I guess we'll start in Detroit. Did you like my Lisa Frank binder reference? And do you understand what that is?
I had to look it up. I'm a man of honesty. I looked it up and now I understand it. And I thought it was great. A crazy way to start the burn. I'll say that. You know.
Trapper keeper. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but
people well, here's the thing is like the kids who are listening now, they all have laptops.
Sure.
Like, there's no such thing as a binder anymore.
We got a couple people in the office that use like a handwritten notebook, which I really like. I think that's like a nice touch, but the binders are out, man. Yeah. Well, that's obvious. Come on.
I'm Unk status. There it is, the Lisa Frank. I like the reference, as you can tell. Let's get into the series. I don't know what there is to say about Detroit. I got it wrong, Jolly.
Yeah.
You know, and I say that almost every single episode because I feel I want to be apologetic to Tigers fans. I asked where the offense is going to come from. And look, I don't know. I know McKinstry slowed down a little bit, but he had a great start to the year. Torkelson going off, Javi Baez. Like, these guys hadn't done anything in their big league careers, and here they are doing it. I love the Javi Baez resurgence. And then obviously we knew the pitching was going to be good. I think the starting pitching has been a little bit better than I expected. And then the bullpen's done the job. But these Tigers here, man, I think the Red Sox are a good team. I know they've been struggling. They've had bullpen issues of their own. I think they have more blown saves than saves, that's not a way to live, Jolly. Yeah. You can't live that way.
Yeah.
But the Tigers, they showed a lot in this series. A blowout in game one where they tear apart Tanner Houck, and he's had a rough go this season. But then to have these two walk-off victories in a row, I think that shows me more about this team than anything else. And yeah, Javi Baez, second homer of the night on that walk-off Tuesday. He looks like he's having fun. I'm curious what they're going to do with him once a Vierling comes back or Parker Meadows comes back, if he's going to move to short or third. But they're just playing really good ball, man. And again, I apologize for getting it wrong, I guess.
You know, you're not going to get everything right. And I mean, it's hard to predict that the Tigers were going to have their best start to a season since 2006. Like, that's a difficult thing to do. I didn't have that in my book either. I had them being competitive, but not quite the runaway favorites in the AL Central. I just feel like these teams are reverse images of each other right now. Like, the Tigers are getting standout performances from guys that I don't think you would clock them getting. And their core guys who weren't performing last year are now doing so. Spencer Torkelson, this deep into his season, we're 7-8 weeks into the year, he's got a 145 OPS plus. Javier Baez has been on everyone's mind because he's getting clutch hits. He's playing great center field defense. And then you mentioned that rotation. It's full, man. They got 5 guys that can give you a quality start day in and day out. Jackson Jobe is someone I love to watch pitch. He's so young, but his stuff is absolutely lethal. He's got to, find the zone a little bit better, but I think that'll come with more reps. And then the Red Sox, on the other hand of things, their guys have just not been going. Trevor Story's been healthy, but he hasn't been hitting very well. Jarren Duran, we haven't spoken much about him at all this year, and he's kind of been a non-factor for them. And they're guys that were pumping up, early in the season. Christian Campbell, he was in a deep slump that he recently broke out of. It's just these teams I think they met, at least for the Red Sox end, they met at the wrong time. And the Red Sox, you see it in their record in one-run games, because that really determines whether or not you're going to be a factor deep into a season. If you can win those close games that winning teams usually win. Red Sox are 4-12 in one-run games. It's the second worst mark in baseball this year, only behind the Chicago White Sox. It's going to be tough for them to even make the playoffs if that trend continues.
Yeah, the one-run games will it's not even just the record that hurts, but the ego gets hurt in those games. You're so close. You need to win them. They don't do it. And they had a chance here. This is why I love this series for the Tigers. I mean, Skubal gets hit around.
Yeah.
Tyler Holton gives up the runs at, towards the end of the game, so that you're getting to the best pitcher in the American League and you're getting to one of the best bullpens in the American League, but the Tigers still find a way to win. A couple of cool plays we want to highlight in this series. Rob, if you got we're talking crap about the Red Sox. This is a fun play. Willie Abreu zooed a Riley Green ground ball early on the series. Then he comes back and here's the zoo ball. Shades of Trent Grisham on the Brew
Crew. Yeah. Luckily the camera cut away.
Riley Green's like, oh my God, I got to go. He's not really a burner, which is crazy.
It surprisses me. I just always think of him as one. I think
and they come back later in the series, and him and Cedon Rafaela, who's a great center fielder, they end up tag teaming, robbing a home run here. If you got that video, It's pretty cool right here. Little tip drill.
I've seen this play in my brain like so many times, and I've never seen like it actually happen before. It's like it glitched in my brain. I was like, oh wow, it's actually possible.
Yeah, it's pretty good right there. Here's what I'll say about that last game, and this is kind of telling about the Red Sox and what's going on there. Andy Ibanez gets on first base. Aroldis Chapman pitching. Aroldis Chapman doesn't care about holding runners on.
Nope.
So Ibanez steals second base, throwing air, gets to third base, and the Tigers, Chapman gets the next two guys out, but then my guy Malloy gets a 2-0 heater and wins the game for them. Sweeps the series right there. But like, again, I know you got the two guys out after, but you got to hold the runners on a little bit better than that. Like, I know you're Aroldis Chapman. You're having a pretty damn good year, but
dude, that's like a veteran.
Those are the little things,
thing.
Jolly.
That's a veteran closer thing, though. I mean, Mets fan. I
don't think he's ever been good at that.
No, yeah, and he's lefty too, which is weird. But that's
how old is he?
36 is my guess.
All right, well, go Tigers, go. All right, jeez.
Check.
AL Central's hot.
37.
Speaking of 37. The AL Central,
damn, shorted him.
The Houston Astros take 2 of 3 from the Royals. The Royals win that first game. Ryan Gusto not having a nice time. Last two starts, been getting hit around a little bit there. Royals win 7-5. They're up 7-0, I believe, in that game. Astros end up coming back, which looks like foreshadowing for the rest of the series as they win the next 2-1, and then 4-3. And again, Royals playing really, really good baseball coming into this. Astros just seem to be lurking and kind of setting themselves up, I would say, for a late season, takeover of the AL West. Is that what you're feeling?
I mean, isn't it year in and year out that the Astros do this at
seems
this point?
Like
it kind of feels that way. Hey, you said you were wrong about the Tigers. I'll say I was wrong about the Royals. I know that this series didn't go according to plan for them, but at the same time, I really thought that the Royals were going to fall off this year because of that lineup. And that lineup has been doing enough to get by. I mean, it's obviously still the Bobby Witt show. But earlier in the season, it was truly just Bobby Witt and 8 other guys. Now I think they've been hitting a little bit better as of late. And that the pitching is always going to be there. I really don't know what to think of the Astros yet. I like all the names on paper. You mentioned Jeremy Pena's having a really nice year, his best year so far. They're getting quality performances out of Framber Valdez after his slow start.
Yep.
I'm kind of high on every other AL West team, and I don't really know why. And I feel like this might be the year that the Astros maybe don't stick the landing quite as well. I thought last year was going to be the case too, but they take this series. They kind of needed this series. And I don't know. I just feel like the bottom might fall out.
Yeah, for the Royals, I mean, they're, after game one, or coming into game one, Royals starting pitching ERA was 2.97, second in Major League Baseball. Their relief pitching ERA 3.02, fifth in Major League Baseball. That's how they've been winning, obviously. But yeah, for the Astros, Christian Walker had a really slow start. He's getting it going again. You talked about Pena. Paredes is doing just fine. He hits the walk-off there into the Crawford boxes, which was just obvious that was going to happen. Framber, still Framber. Hunter Brown threw last night against Jacob deGrom. I know that doesn't exist.
So I wasn't sure if I was allowed to bring that up. I watched that game.
Yeah, you can. It doesn't exist in this show, but my gosh, what he's done. So they have the makings. Hader's been great. Like, they have the makings of that, like, lurking Houston Astros team. They're scary, man. They really, really are.
I mean, we need Altuve and Yainer Diaz to kind of go. Like, it's been, we're deep into the season now. We've been singing the praises of guys like Torkelson and Baez. At the same time, I think you can start to be hard on Jose Altuve, who's got a 655 OPS on the year. He's not been that guy for them. I'm shocked that Yainer's fallen off as much as he did. He was a feared hitter, one of the best hitting catchers in the league for the past 2 years, and he's kind of been a non-factor for them. And, Houston kind of has injury issues year in and year out with some of their guys. It hasn't really happened for them yet, but they're going to need their core guys to get going on offense. Agreed.
We'll go out to Seattle. The Yankees take 2 out of 3. We mentioned in game one, they kind of ran away with it there. 11-5 the final. We have the Oswaldo Cabrera ankle injury. That one really sucked. Mariners win game 2 on the walk-off by J.P. Crawford. That was kind of a wild thing. That was in the 11th. They had a chance. Obviously, when the team doesn't score, You bunt the guy over that did that. Rowdy Tellez doesn't come through, so it opens it up for the 11th. And JP Crawford just sneaks one down the left field line for that win. And then the Yankees get a great start by Will Warren. Here's the JP walk-off. I like it. Swing. My tri-tip brother. I made some great tri-tip the other day, man. I really have mastered it. I tell people that all the time. Will Warren goes 5 innings pitched. He's got 9 Ks in those 5 innings as the Yankees win 3-2. I think the Yankees are almost like the Tigers to me. Let me tell you something. I had the Yankees, the Tigers, and the Mets not making the playoffs in my preseason.
That's crazy.
They all had issues, bro.
You should know better.
Where was the Yankees offense going to come from? They've shut me up with that as they've had these young guys continue to do well with Rice, and obviously Judge is having a Babe Ruth-esque season. So they've stopped me there. And the pitching, I think, has been a little bit better than I thought it was going to be as well. But yeah, the Yankees take 2 out of 3 from a good Seattle Mariners team.
Yeah, I mean, this series, the Yankees kind of always play good ball in Seattle, I feel like. I mean, the season series going back to 22, I think, is in their favor. I want to shout out Paul Goldschmidt. That's a signing that I kind of raised an eyebrow at a little bit. I wasn't sure how much he had left in the tank after a pretty, up and down 2024 season. Not only has Paul been great, he's been great on the road for them. He's been kind of their road warrior. Shout out Best Western. Hitting over 400 in away games and an OPS over 1,000 for him. And I feel like, the thing we always get on, Yankees fans for is they're just going to sign guys that'll do well with the porch. But that hasn't been the case for him. He's been the guy that's producing on the road. And you mentioned that the Yankees have kind of surprised you a little bit. You didn't have them making the playoffs. I mean, if I told you at the outset of the season, hey, Jazz Chisholm's going to play 6 weeks. He's going to hit under 200, then he's going to get hurt for 2 months. Austin Wells, he's going to be kind of riding the middle for a little bit. I think I would sell a little bit on them too, because the guys that they've been getting performances out of, Ben Rice has been raking. Trent Grisham has basically just replaced Juan Soto in their lineup. Trent Grisham has been sensational. And then, of course, Judge is the kind of thing you can expect. I'm still worried about that rotation, though. They got a nice Will Warren start, but it really is 2 guys at the top and then 3 question marks for them. And it's tough to win series, series in and series out when you have so many question marks in your rotation. You know what the Yankees are going to bring in their bullpen. Devin Williams has been pitching better as of late. He had a nice outing in this Seattle series as well. It's crazy to think that the Yankees won the series when they lost the Max Fried start, because that has not been the formula for them. He's been great throughout this entire run. The Yankees are figuring out ways to get by, and they got a big series coming up this weekend.
Yeah, Luis Gil on his way back, though. So I think if you really look at the rotation, I understand, like, they need Garrett Cole. That's tough for them.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go, you're going to set it up Max Fried, who's been better, I think better than anyone could have imagined.
For sure.
Rodon and Luis Gil. And then, Will Warren shows flashes. If he can, locate the ball, he's got swing and miss stuff. I think they can get done. A lot of people think, 5, not every team has 5 pitchers, man. It's just doesn't really happen. You got the back end is kind of where you make your money. Yankees game 2 on 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position. So to come back the next night, Goldschmidt hits the homer. Judge, what was that pitch? I have it written down right here. 1-1 hanging slider. He puts the Yankees up 1 to win that game. Just a nice overall series for the Yankees, as it is tough to travel to the West Coast. These next ones, we'll go a little bit quicker through here. Guardians take 2 or 3 from the Brewers. As I mentioned, it was just all guards pitching the first 2 games before Rhys Hoskins says enough of this and kind of puts the team on his back. Brewers, I don't know what to make of them. I do know what to make of the Guardians. They win baseball games. They have the clutch hitting gene. They have the pitching. I mean, in game 1, who was it? Ben Lively ends up getting hurt in that game, but it's Ben Lively, Jacob Junis, Colby Allard, Smith, and Gaddis combined for a 7-hit shutout. I mean, that's guard ball. That's insane. Right,
they're out Brewersing the Brewers, and you got to see
it. I don't know what I don't know what the deal with the Brewers is, man. They don't look scary to me right now. They don't have that identity that we always say they have. It's not.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, first of all, shout out Jose Quintana, who's been awesome for them, and he signed like 2 days before opening day. Do you give them the same benefit of the doubt that in your mind you're giving the Astros? Because the Brewers, I mean, they haven't had the World Series wins, that much postseason success, but they've been there every year, pretty much the same length of time. I feel like in my brain, I'm giving them some leeway of like they'll bounce back, they'll find their rhythm just because they do it every year.
I do because of like what they're built on, which is like defense and putting pressure offensively on the other defense. Their defense has not been great this year.
Really?
You talk about that Jackson Trio route on the Gabriel Arias fly ball. If you got that up, Bob, if you can get that up,
Yeah,
I mean,
that had like
it's a bases loaded fly ball essentially. I mean, he hits it decent, but Trio just like kind of like zoos it.
Yeah,
it's right at him, which you would say those are the toughest balls, but that's a guy that needs to make that play. I mean,
that's a guy that usually makes that play too, I feel like, in my mind. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, when you're playing in a series like this where it's such light offense on both sides, those plays stand up massively. I just feel like, we mentioned before the Red Sox caught the Tigers at a terrible time. I feel like the Brewers caught the Guardians at a terrible time too because they play the same brand of baseball, but the Guardians are just playing it so much better right now. I think I read the number. The Guardians have 6 shutouts. And that was from last year, but this is their 3rd shutout in 5 games. That's insane.
They're rolling.
That's crazy.
And if Gavin Williams could ever lock it in,
they're gonna be scary.
The guy has nasty stuff.
Wild.
We kind of went over Twins sweep in Baltimore. They're playing really good ball. They're actually kind of playing guard ball. How about that?
Didn't have that in my book.
Unlikely heroes. We got, Cody Clemens and Deshaun Kersey hitting home runs. Christian Vasquez hitting home runs in this series. The pitching's been phenomenal. Chris Paddock has been really good. His first start, I think he's got like a 2.9 on the year. Bailey Ober, the same thing. Like they have right now, they sent down Simeon Woods Richardson to bring up David Festa. I believe that's going to be the move. And I mean, they have like, if Paddock is that, they have like legit 5 number 2 starters on their team, which is like really good.
And they have the best closer in baseball at the back end too.
Bullpen's been phenomenal. So like they are riding that train. So if they get some hits, some clutch hits, they're going to win baseball games. That's what's been happening. We do have to see what is going to happen with Correa and Buxton. I think they're going to be okay. A little bit of collision. Correa looks like he took the worst of it as he kind of like did a little whiplash there, but Buxton stayed in the game for an inning before coming out. I think they're going to be okay. You got to watch out for Bader too, because he's been good for them. But I think right now here's the play. Yeah, his head whipped back. Damn. I was watching this live and it was like, come on, guys, you can't please be okay, get up. And they stayed down for a while.
I mean, that's tough. I know that's like a tough in-betweener. I feel like that's the center fielder's ball, but like if Correa just moves to the left instead of the right, you dodge.
He kind of did. He braced himself for contact like pretty early, and I don't think Buck really saw him. I think he was looking up at the ball. This one that has a little bit of shades of good team beats bad team right now.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, did the Twins, keep this hot streak going? Are they playing great ball, or did they get their medicine? Because right now the Orioles have kind of been the American League medicine. I love your Twins. I do. I need to see them beat other teams in the AL Central, which hasn't really happened yet. I don't think they have a win in a series against the Royals, the Tigers, or Cleveland yet. So we'll see when their next test comes, and that's going to be next week when they play Cleveland at home and Royals at home.
I feel like they haven't had a lot of games against the AL Central. They've
had one series against each of them. They've lost each one. So, but they are riding a 12-game heater right now, but 6 of those wins come against Baltimore. I mean, I watched the last 2 games of this series in full because they were on in the office. The Orioles are a brutal watch, man. They're
tough right now. They're tough.
They're not good at anything.
There's not a lot of life there.
We've been getting on their pitching a lot for the home run ball and all that, but I mean, even their offense is just not doing what their offense has done the past 3 years. They're not passing the baton. They're not hitting for power. Are you officially calling them dead at 15 and 27?
Gosh.
I don't know. I mean, the AL East is
I've
not
retired from killing people.
You're down. You're out. You're not a hitman anymore. You're retired.
There's going to be some more murder talk later in the episode. Okay. We are going long. I'm looking at the time right now. Rays take 2 out of 3 from Toronto. There was some really nice baseball being played in this series. First game, just back and forth, runs galore is what I said in the rundown there, in the burn, excuse me. Junior Caminero, man. It's an absolute missile for a grand slam. A little shaky there for the Rays at the end, but they get it done. Varsha, like I said, has a chance to win it after a couple doubles by Bichette and Guerrero in the 9th there, but he ends up flying out. That was game 1. Jays they took game 2 on kind of like a A nice pitching performance by Bassett there. Bullpen gets the job done, like I said, and Kirk hits the homer, and then the Rays kind of just run away with Game 3 at 3 homers off of Kevin Gausman to take the series. I expected a lot more out of the Rays this year. They've been middling, I guess is the best word I can say for them, but a nice series win.
Yeah, they're giving me a little Royals right now. I like that rotation a lot. You know what the Rays can do in their bullpen, but it has been the Jonathan Aranda show on offense and no one else. So a guy like Junior Caminero coming up with that big hit, there was a lofty expectation for him this year. If he can start to go, I feel like their outlook changes a lot. And this was a big series win for them. They've been playing really good ball on the road. They're 8-1 in their last 9 road games. It's kind of weird, their home situation right now. So honestly, I don't find that much surprising. But yeah, beating these division rivals, especially one that I kind of feel is on even keel with them at this point in the season, it's a big step forward for the Rays. And if they can keep getting good pitching performances out of their starting rotation, they've been getting really surprised bullpen performances too. I still like their chances in the American League because right now the AL East is open. I mean, you got 4 teams under 500. We know the AL Central has been great, but there's a lot of spots up for grabs in my mind. There's a lot of teams I'm not fully sold on, and I like the makeup of this Rays team. I know they're young. I know that their defense has not been fantastic, but I just feel like, 6 weeks into the season, 7 weeks, whatever it is, they can start to get better offensive performances out of some of their guys.
Texas sweeps Colorado.
Medicine.
Sun rises. I will say this, 3 quality starts from Texas Rangers starting pitchers. Malley goes 6 1/3, 1 earned run. Leiter goes 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Patrick Corbin, sneaky, having like a decent year for them. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. That is a quality start. They changed it. Used to be 6 innings with 2 or more. I think 3 is now in it.
I think that's been that way.
It's always been that way?
Yeah, it's always been 6 innings, 3.
There's something they changed. Don't come at me like this right now. We're trying to get through this. Go
Nate
Rangers,
Eovaldi,
go.
Cy Young, maybe? Who knows?
Who's that?
Nate Eovaldi, Cy Young.
Oh, my gosh. Nasty. Didn't pitch in this series, Charlie. It's okay, though. Rockies, my gosh, bro. Hey, Kyle Farmer hit a home run, though.
Nice.
Love that. That's it for the American League. I think I'm ready to go on this National League if you guys are.
Stay hot, man.
And we will start off in Atlanta. Hey, we'll be there for the All-Star game this year. The Braves take 3 of 4 from division rival Washington Nationals. I don't know if that's true. Maybe one day. They win games 1, 2, and 4. Game 1, Verdugo walks it off in the 9th after the Nats scored 2 to tie it on a Nick Allen error. That's his first of the season. He's been playing pretty good shortstop for them. Smith-Shawver's nasty again. All the starters put up quality starts for them. Is this a law firm? Holmes, Schwellenbach, Elder, Smith-Shawver? I'm not really sure.
Mouthful. It's a mouthful.
That's a big mouthful. Close games, but I think the better team wins the series. Like I said, 3 out of 4 for them. Braves now back at 500 after this series. We are going to go to San Francisco, where the Diamondbacks went into town and took 2 out of 3. Merrill Kelly outduels JV in game 1. He goes 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. JV goes 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. Was that the game? No, game 2 is where Jung Hoo Lee says, enough of this. You're going to walk Elliot Ramos in front of me on Korean Heritage Night? Does Torey Lovullo not understand how the way sports work? You can't do that. He hits the homer. Giants take game 2, and then the Snakes take game 3. Shaky bullpen again for the Snakes, but they hold on to win it. They almost had a Bermuda Triangle ball there at the end. They win the bread games, win the series. Snakes, is this a sign of things to come? Are they going to jump San Francisco? I don't know. That bullpen seems kind of crazy. Cardinals take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. We had a rain out on Tuesday, so they played a doubleheader that they split on Wednesday. Cards win the game 1 3-2. Phillies win game 2 2-1, and then the Cardinals unload 14-7. I think the Phillies have an Aaron Nola problem, and I love Aaron Nola, but things have not been going his way. Cardinals have been playing good ball. The bullpen's been nasty. The starters have been nasty. Sonny Gray does get hit around. A couple old heads getting knocked around that last game, but the Cardinals do take 2 out of 3. I'm going to let you take this one right here. The Mets take 2 of 3 from the Pirates. what's going on in Pittsburgh? There's Jeff Passan saying they're going to trade Paul Skeens. What the freak is going on? We'll get into this one a bunch. I can't wait to hear your takes on it. Mets win the first 2 games 4-3, 2-1 before getting shut out in game 1. Shout out Bailey Falter. Let's go, baby. 4-0 Pirates as they salvage a win in the last one to avoid the sweep. Cubs take 2 out of 3 for the Marlins. Kind of obvious. Maybe not as obvious as, it's obvious.
Yeah.
They win the first 2 games 5-2, 5-4 before the Marlins win the last game 3-2-1. We'll get into more of that. Again, this one's going to be tight for us, guys. Padres take 2 out of 3 from the Angels. Probably should have swept it. Taylor Ward with a huge homer in game 1 for the Angels there in the 9th. And then Fernando Tatis Jr. says, I can do that. I can hit a home run late in the game. Walk-off 2-run homer there before they roll game 3. Padres win 6-4 and 5-1 in games 2 and 3, respectively. We expect them to win the series against the Angels right now. The bullpen for them, oh my goodness. The Dodgers, after getting beat down in game 1 by the A's. I was at this series, Jolly. Boots on the ground. They get beat 11-1 and then come back and say, no. We are the daddies. 9-3. And 19-2. Shohei is just, it's incredible what they're doing. We got an award from the Dodgers, and it's not going to Shohei. And how about this? The White Sox take 2 out of 3 from the Cincinnati Reds. They win 5-1 in 10 innings in game 1, 4-2 in game 2, and the Reds end up blowing them out in game 3, 7-1. And that, Jolly, is what happened in the National League. You got the standings, Pop.
I do. I just got to mention this really quick. White Sox are 4-2 since the Pope got chosen. I don't know. Something's happened for a reason.
Are the Cubs reeling? Because I thought that might be a turning point for them. They're too good to reel.
Yeah, they're too good to reel. In your National League, I'll start in the West. How about that? Because we ended in the West on the last one. The Dodgers take 2 out of 3 from the A's and improve to 29-15, but right on their tail. 27-15, your San Diego Padres just a game back. Good bounce back by them after that bullpen implosion. Your Giants, after their series loss to the Diamondbacks, still a couple of games above them in the standings, 25-19. Diamondbacks hovering above 500 at 23-21 in 4th place. And your Colorado Rockies, I can't believe I'm saying these numbers in this order, 7-36, deep last place.
It'd be shocking, even more shocking if you said it in the other order.
I think so. Kind of really quick, how many games back do you think they are at first place right now? Throw out a guess.
Ooh. 20.
21.5. May's not over yet. Absolutely insane.
Kyle
Someone
Farmer,
step in.
I love you, bro. Come hang out with me.
Get out of there, man. Escape. Chicago Cubs, they lead the NL Central still 25-19. Right on their tail. A lot of close divisions in baseball right now. That's fun. 24-20 is your St. Louis Cardinals. They're on a heater. Milwaukee Brewers, we were just talking about them. They're scuffling a little bit. 21-23. Only 4 games back, though. They just need one good week and they're right back in it. Same thing for the Cincinnati Reds, 21-24, and then your Pirates. What is he doing, baby? 10 games back, 15-29. They are very thankful that the Rockies exist. Leading the National League East, your New York Mets, 28-16, 2.5 games ahead of the Philadelphia Phillies, coming off a series loss. They're 25-18. The Braves back at 500, 22-22. Who starts 0-7 and then gets back to 500 in May? That's absolutely insane. The Nationals, 18-27. They've fallen off a little bit. They're just a half game ahead of those pesky Miami Marlins, who are 16-26, and those are your standings in the National League.
Excellent, Jolly. Like I mentioned, we're going to kind of zoom through this and get to the second half of the show. Braves take 3 out of 4. Their offense really hasn't showed up. They haven't scored more than 5 runs in a game since April 28th.
It's hard to believe.
That's pretty crazy. They played a bunch of walk-off games. They've actually been really good in walk-off games. They've had 3 walk-offs over the last 10 games, I believe it is. Verdugo gets it in game 1. Raisel Iglesias, blown save, but team picks him up. You got to like that for them. Other than that, it's starting pitching for the Braves, I think, is the story of the series. And again, names that you know, but I think you think of a lot of other guys before you start thinking of these pitchers on the Mets. Granholm, Schwellenbach, Elder, and Smith-Shawver, like I said, just really doing the thing for the Braves as, like I mentioned, to get back to 500. And we talk about other teams lurking. Braves, steady lurking on the NL East. They're pretty far back. I heard the standings, but I didn't really hear the standings. How far back are they from the Mets right now?
They're 6 games back. So
Okay, so that's a substantial.
feels
ways
far
back.
to you, does not feel far to me. I never sold my Brave stock because I just have a belief that things will always round out for this roster. I didn't think it would go this way, though. I will say that. I think, them getting a quality performances out of Bryce Elder, who I think was kind of pushed aside at the beginning of the year. Grant Holmes is a career reliever who's been good for them out of the rotation. Smith Shawver looks like he's going to be special. That was their top prospect entering last year. They've been getting great starting pitching performances when the offense has not really gone. I still can't believe that 5-run stat. That's what we know the Braves for. They bang the ball around. That's how they win games. But they've been winning games by hurling the pill. They're 16-8 since April 18th. The only other team that matches that record in baseball is the Mets, the team that they're trying to chase down. So we'll see. These teams have not played yet. I'm looking forward to that first series of the year. They're the 5th team ever to reach 500 after starting a season 0-7, and it's May 16th.
Okay.
It did
Yeah,
not
that was
take
quick.
them long at all, man. It's crazy.
Very quick. Iglesias in the back end, he gets his 7th save in the last game. He's got 3 blown saves already on the year. Nationals are kind of reeling. They lost 8 of the last 9 games, have not been hitting with runners in scoring positions. CJ Abrams has been really good for them. So shout out CJ Abrams. Obviously James Wood has had a great start to the year as well, but I think this is a little bit of big brother, little brother right now in the National League East, even though the Braves haven't been playing their best ball offensively. So look for that to turn around. Snakes go and take 2 out of 3. This was definitely a fun series here. The first game, we get a little bit of Corbin Carroll doing it for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and go and look at his stats and what he's doing. His contract looks like an absolute bargain right now for the Snakes. He has a solo homer and then another solo homer to put up 2-0, and that's all that they needed in game 1. Like I mentioned, you know what I forgot though? The Michael Harris catch in that last series. I forgot to mention that. That was
It's sensational, and every time
insane.
MH2 makes a catch, he does a great celly after it too. I wish he didn't play for my rival because I think he's fucking cool.
Sorry, I was just
Drives me
reading
nuts.
these stats. I'm like, God, I forgot about the Michael Harris catch. The Jung-Hoo Lee home run on Korean Heritage.
Robbie's
Here's the
quick.
catch.
Oh my god!
Boy, Robbie.
And look, just instant celly. Watch. Nope, no way. That's so cool, man. God, I gotta play for the Braves.
Is he saying no way, or is he saying,
Yeah,
ow, my head hurts?
No, I think he's saying no way. That's not getting by me.
Okay, that's cooler. I think he's saying, ow, my head hurts. I just ran into the freaking wall.
Let me say, nah, that's a celly. That's a celly.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Maybe I'm too old. Second game, moving on to the Diamondbacks series. Jung-Hoo Lee, Elliot Ramos gets walked in front of him. Man Supply goes after him on Korean Heritage Night, which is just a no-no. You know that's going to happen.
Come on.
Gonna step it up. 3-run homer, puts them up 10-4 in that game. And then there was some weird stuff going on in game 3 here. Here's the homer.
Beautiful swing. That's a good pitch, man. That's not
He's
a bad
so
pitch.
fun to watch, dude. Just sneaks it over there, right into the top in the stands over that wall before McCovey Cove. Snakes bullpen shaky again. There's some weird base running stuff. I believe it was Ramos that ran into Lawler there at the end, or was it? It might not have been Ramos. Anyways, they hold on. They've been a problem, Jolly, that hasn't really been addressed yet. They're still trying to go in-house there. Ryan Nelson and Shelby Miller get hit around a little bit in that game, but they need to find someone. I mean, it's been kind of Miller. Ginkles, had his issues as well. I don't know what they're going to do at the back end of the bullpen, but you can't have that. It's not sustainable, especially in that National League West as you're looking up at these top 3 teams. I know they just won the series against the Giants, but my goodness, it's you can't keep doing that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Expecting to win series.
I don't know if head researcher Dalton Field is going to make it through this year because it just feels like every night these guys are playing a barn burner 1-run game that goes to the very last out. You're getting on their bullpen a little bit. I'm going to get a little bit on their rotation. I mean, I know that they've been solid, especially, Corbin Burns has been great for them and he's been worth the money so far. But there's a lot of money invested in that rotation to be great. And they've been kind of just middle of the pack so far. The Erod contract's been brutal for them. And he, every outing kind of feels the same for him. He'll get through 2-3 innings clean and then it'll kind of just blow up for him. And they're not getting a ton of length out of their guys either. It's stretching out the bullpen and straining them thin. And I do think they're going to be one of the teams that is going to punch a ticket for an early trade, because you can't go on like this. The Diamondbacks cannot be relying on their offense to put up 8 runs a game. It's not sustainable. Granted, the offense has been fantastic for them. Perdomo continues to hit. Suarez continues to be great for them. But you can't live like this, man.
If there is one team that could do it, the Diamondbacks offense is sneaky. I don't think people give them as much credit as other teams, but go check out the stats, people, even from last year, carried on over to this year. Here's a fun stat. D-backs have the only tandem in baseball players with 13 or more homers this season. That's Corbin Carroll with 14 and Eugenio with 13. And also, this is a nice note for the Diamondbacks fans, I believe. They just finished a stretch of 16 games in 16 days against teams that if the season ended today would be in the postseason. Yeah. They went 8-8, but 500 against those teams, 16 in a row. I think you take that.
I think you take it, but you just feel like this team's capable of better. Like, I had this team easily shoot into the playoffs, taking the step this year, and so far they've been good, not great. And I just feel like they have the talent on this roster to be great. They've had a tough schedule so far for sure, and maybe they'll rip off one of these sick runs in June and July, but right now, I'm very concerned about that pitching staff, and I have a hard time seeing it get better unless they make an early move.
Moving on, and we'll do this one quick. Cardinals kind of deserve a lot of love. They had the winning streak of their own before getting snapped in that game 2 on Wednesday. The Phillies win 2-1. 3-2 game 1. Mason Wynn with the big homer there. Phillies win game 2-1. Then, as I mentioned, a couple old heads getting knocked around in game 3. Cards end up winning that one 14-7. Just unleashed the offense late in the game there. Again, another Mason Wynn homer in game 3. Alec Burleson had a 2-run single, and then it was just kind of the floodgates opened up, and Mason Wynn another single there in the 9th to make it 14-7. Cardinals playing really good ball. I think they've surprised a ton of people, including me. I reached out to Katie Wu. I said, what the hell is going on out there in St. Louis? She said, it's been the bullpen.
Yep.
Bullpen's been really, really good for them. They've gotten timely hitting, so that's kind of gone a little bit under the radar. But this is a team that the way they're doing it kind of looks sustainable in a year where they weren't really supposed to be doing what they're doing. I mean, the NL Central is kind of wide open for them.
Yeah, I mean, I would not deem the Cubs the runaway favorites. I mean, the Cubs had a great start last year and then fell off in early June. So there's an entire possibility that this division
they're one game back right now.
I know. And like the Cardinals have ripped off this crazy heater. And also a big reason for that, they've played 3 doubleheaders since April 30th, and they're 5-1 in those games. And that swings a lot of like how we perceive them at this point in the season. I do think that the offense will even out a little bit. They've been putting up crazy numbers in games, but I'm starting to buy a little stock in this pitching staff. I know he didn't pitch in the series, but Liberatore has been great for them. It looks like at age 25, he's found his kind of like zone, his pitch arsenal, because he had a ton of pitches last year. He's lessened that this year. Eric Fetty's been devouring innings for them, and that's how I view them and the Diamondbacks kind of differently. I know we were just talking about them. They're getting length. They're getting a ton of length out of their starters. All these guys are either vets or they're young breakout guys that have been pitching deep into games. And I watched the Mets doubleheader against them. They have Michael McGreevy waiting in the wings, who is extremely talented. Like, that's another thing that differs them from the Diamondbacks. They have internal talent that I think is ready to go. I think the Cardinals are going to surprise a lot of people. We'll see if they can keep it up, but right now they're playing a really good brand of baseball that I agree is somewhat sustainable.
Mason went with a good series. Alec Burleson's really turned it on as of late. In April, didn't do much. No homers, only 4 runs driven in, but in 11 games in May, he's got 3 homers and 9 runs driven in. Wilson Contreras has been really good for them. For the Phillies, like I mentioned, they kind of have an Aaron Nola problem. I'm curious what they do because Andrew Painter looks like he's ready to go sitting in AAA, you can't banish Nola to the bullpen. I don't know what you do. Is it a Phantom IL situation? I'm not really sure what you do, but the Phillies, I think they have time to figure it out. The National League is a beast, but the Phillies team also, I think, understands kind of they're going to be there at the end of the year, so we need to get it right and figure some things out. Bryce Harper cuts his hair.
Interesting.
Not sure how to it because there's a slump. You have to love that as a Mets fan.
I don't know.
A little panic haircut. I've done that before.
Yeah?
Oh my gosh. It basically saved my career. I cut my long hair off and I went off on a run here. But Bryce doing it's a little different, I would say.
We'll need the tell-all one day. I will say this, the Jesus Luzardo trade continues to be the best move of the offseason. He's been so good for them. Leads all major league pitchers in WAR. Really good.
Give me your Mets. Take 2 out of 3 from the Pirates talk real quick.
Yeah, super weird series, rainy. Mets honestly didn't play great ball, but they won a pair of 1-run games. That's been the bane of their existence lately. They've been losing all their 1-run games, and we've been talking a lot about how important that is for being a winning team in Major League Baseball in 2025, especially with all the good teams in the league right now. Not too much to say here. They got a couple good starting pitching performances. Clay Holmes got hit around in that last game. Just kind of running the mill, and they take a series against the team they should have beat. That's pretty much all I got.
Love that. Go Mets, go! I'm a big fan
Nice.
Of the Mets.
Had
them out of the playoffs as well.
I was say preseason, you weren't a big fan. Come on now.
Cubs take 2 out of 3 for the Marlins. Almost snaps here. Shout out Dansby Swanson, who's been crushing it over the last 2 weeks. He needed to get it going, and he has. Kind of good team, bad team, I would say. Shout out Justin Turner, walk-off knock.
Yeah, he needed that bad.
Yeah, him, Pete Armstrong, and his son on the field after the game, all redheads getting together. It was awesome. I love that for them. The Angels lose to the Padres. Again, this is good team, bad team right now. The Angels bullpen's reeling. Ben Joyce now out for the season. He wasn't really having a good one anyway, but their bullpen's been really tough for them. And shout out for the Padres. They took care of business. Fernando Tatis, there was a lot of talk about his leg lift and what he's doing with his front foot. And then the walk-off homer, he did both of them. He did a big leg kick and a toe tap all in one. He has elite hand-eye, people. It doesn't matter what he does with his front foot.
And his timing was off on it, too. I don't know if
it
you saw
was
that.
off.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter because he has elite hand-eye.
It's crazy.
He's a freak, dude.
Yeah,
I swear, Jolly, if he didn't get suspended, I'm talking about this guy's my favorite player in all of baseball.
I don't know that I've ever seen this before. Like he plants like a full second early and then still just beautiful.
He's going back and forth with that. I don't know. It's interesting. For a while, I don't want to get into this too much. It was get your front foot down was like old school baseball. Yeah. And then it was like Joey Bautista and Justin Turner were like, fuck that, dude. Like just swing as hard as you can. And then it's like, okay, that works for you guys, but like these guys, it's really hard to see the ball. These pitchers in the biggest are pretty good, so I'm going to get my foot down. You go back and forth depending on who you are. Padres take care of business. Dodgers crush the A's. The A's are a fun team to watch. They have some really fun young players. I went and saw these games, talked to Jacob Wilson and his dad, Jack, and just said, I'm so envious of your relationship. Can't wait to if Teddy is even in just a good high school player, I'll be so stoked. It's got to be so fun for Jack Wilson to see his son do it. He had 2 homers in his first game in LA. So how about that? But then the Dodgers unleashed. It was a Shohei show, 2 homers on the bobblehead night. I've been to 4 Dodgers games, I believe, this year, and 2 of them Shohei's homered on his first at bat. It was nuts. I was there with Lucas O'Brien. That was a trip. And then the White Sox take 2 out of 3 from the Reds. No offense to you guys. We're running late. Don't really want to go too much into this series. Which brings us, Jolly, to the second half of our show. And
it's time for Standout Performances. Standout Performances. This guy stood out for Trev.
Say what?
Yeah, okay. I just imagine Rob just smoking a huge joint doing that, late night one night in his little studio. Jolly, who you got?
I mean, this was the easiest pick. I was glad to see that you didn't have him highlighted on your sheet. I'm going with Javier Baez on Tuesday against the Red Sox. A pair of 3-run homers. His story, I think, is just one of the best of this entire year. In that game, he goes 2 for 5, 3 runs scored, 2 homers, 6 RBI. It's up to an 842 OPS on the year. Just the Tigers have been great as a whole, but I think everyone is really happy to see Javier Baez playing good ball again.
Yeah, it is weird because I feel like people were so down on him because it looked like he was just kind of mailing it in for the Tigers over the last couple of years. And people there was a couple pitches last year that he swung at that people were like, what is he doing? Does he want to just get out on purpose? And then this year, and I did say this with C. Rosie, it feels like because he saw them play well last year and was not a part of it, he's like, wow, like that sucks.
It
Like,
happened as soon as he got hurt too. Like,
what's that?
Like right after he got hurt, that's when they began their run.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, who knows what would have happened? He sees that, he gets that itch again. I want to be part of this team. Who knows what happens if Meadows and Vierling start the year healthy? Like, is Baez, what's his role on this team? The world works in mysterious ways, Jolly.
Also,
so
I don't know if you saw.
I am going.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
With my friend. Not really my friend. I don't know him. I want to be friends with him. I like the young hot guys. Drake Baldwin, catcher for the Atlanta Braves. Do they have the best hitting tandem of catchers in all of baseball?
Second best in their division, maybe.
I'm thinking, what about also the Cubs? Isn't Carson Kelly going off as well? Okay. Anyways, Drake Baldwin, he goes 3 for 4 with a double homer, 2 runs driven in. That was on Tuesday. But his overall line this year, my goodness, 360, 407, 573 for the 981 OPS from your catcher. I love it. You know what? You know where he was born?
I'm going to guess Georgia.
My favorite freaking city in the world, Madison, Wisconsin.
Today I learned something.
I'll tell you the story of why it's my favorite city off camera, Jolly. You know, the Braves, as we've mentioned, been playing really good ball as of late. To have this guy, your catcher, you're essentially your kind of your backup catcher, but not really your backup catcher, go off like this is huge. It's a cheat code. So shout out Drake Baldwin for starting the year off the way you have. My gosh. And now let's get into everyone's favorite part of the show. We're talking in Fuego. This one's brought to you by Corona. You want to know what I love most about baseball, Jolly?
What's that?
Kicking back, ordering some Coronas, and enjoying the ride together. From the moment we all bail on work to enjoy opening day to the last play of the World Series, baseball is the one sport where anything can happen. Any team can catch fire, go on a run, and take their fans to the promised land. Let's go, Minnesota. For us baseball guys, there's nothing quite like sharing a Corona, relaxing, and enjoying every unpredictable moment with friends. So go ahead, turn the cheap seats into your own private island with some ice cold Coronas. Gosh, that sounds good right now. The official cerveza of Major League Baseball. Crack open a Corona, squeeze in a lime, and enjoy America's favorite pastime with Mexico's favorite present time. Get yours at ordercorona.com. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly. Corona Extra Beer imported from Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Dirt
Jolly.
nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
I'm
dishing the rock to you.
We got so many good performances, Trev. We'll start with Brandon Lau. We just mentioned someone help out Jonathan Aranda. He did this series, 7 for 13 against the Blue Jays. 2 bombs in one game, his first multi-homer game since May of 2022. You want to mention AL East teams in the mud. Talk about the Baltimore Orioles. They traded away Kyle Stowers last year. He went 5 for 11. 3 solo shots. He's been cooking for the Miami Marlins. What's Trevor Rogers up to? I haven't seen him. Mason Wynn, I have seen. He came back and the Cardinals started to go. He goes 6 for 11 with 2 homers and a 1.7 OPS against the Philadelphia Phillies. And then shout out Brett Boone for fixing Josh Young on the Texas Rangers. 6 for 10 in the series against Colorado. He got his medicine with a pair of homers. On the week, though, it's all about J-Ram, baby. Jose Ramirez, 9 for 23 homers, a double, 7 runs scored, and of course 4 stolen bases because he does that too. 3 stolen bases in one game for just the 3rd time in his career. He's got over 250 in his career now. He's like that. You know who else is? Jeremy Pena. You love Jeremy Pena. 14 for 30 this past week. 2 doubles, a homer, 7 RBIs. In 16 games since they moved him to the leadoff spot, you know I love a lineup shakeup. He's hitting 406. 5 doubles, 3 homers. He's starting to go. The Astros will need him to go. You know who else needs someone to go? The Rockies, because they're 7-36. Hunter Goodman, he's been pretty good for them, man. 11 for 26, a 423 average this past week. 4 doubles, a triple, and a homer. I like a catcher hitting a triple. That gets me going a little bit. But you know what else gets me going? Pitchers who shove. Merrill Kelly, the Diamondbacks needed a good pitching performance. They got one in game 1 against the Giants. 7 innings, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. They needed that against the division rival. Jack Leiter provided a quality start for the Texas Rangers against those Rockies. 6 innings, just 2 hits allowed, and 1 earned run. He's been punching out the world, and so has A.J. Smith-Shawver, The Braves are inevitable, people, especially when he goes. 6 innings, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts to 2 walks. He's allowed 1 earned run in 19 2/3 over his last 3 starts. That is who has been in Fuego, brought to you by Corona.
I do need to talk about Jack Leiter because I was talking in my power rankings about him and Kumar and their fastballs getting hit. Turns out Jack Leiter's fastball is not getting hit. It's just whenever I watch, and then I had it in my mind from last year.
Okay.
His fastball has been phenomenal this year, so I do apologize to Rangers fans.
It was a problem for him, though, in the minor leagues.
It was a problem, and it seems like every time I watch him, his fastball is getting hit. So, like, I haven't watched every single pitch of Jack Leiter's. I know he's been obviously great this year, but just wanted to issue a little clear it up.
Sometimes you got to be your own lawyer. I get it.
It's fine, guys. And now this sucks. Being Jake sucks. Batters who are struggling. Brian Reynolds for Pittsburgh, 4 for 49. He's batting just 114 on low pitches this season, second lowest in Major League Baseball. He's slugging 0 on low breaking pitches this season. That's obviously lowest in all of baseball. There's just a lot of bad stats. He's got a ground ball rate of 82%.
I saw this
low
first
pitches this season.
This was tough.
Don't swing at the low one.
This was tough, man. He's been a tough watch.
Don't swing at the low pitches. I know it's hard, but let's get the ball up a little. That's kind of like hitting 101. Get the ball up. See it highlight a fly, baby. How about mini Caleb Durbin for the Milwaukee Brewers? 4 for 34 right now. He's got a hard hit rate of just 14% on inside pitches this season. Got to step that up. Seiya Suzuki, who was looking really good. 6 for his last 51. He's got an on-base percentage of just 135 over the last 2 weeks. That's the lowest in the National League. Adley Rutschman, we got to figure some stuff out there, man. I don't know what's going on in Baltimore, but you can't have Adley Rutschman going 6 for 41. It's a 146 average. He's hitting just 120 when leading off an inning this season. He's got a swing rate of just 32% in non-2-strike counts this season. So he's got to swing the bat more. Is he not seeing the ball? Orioles fans, let me know. Sound off in the comments. My guy Sal Perez, 8 for 45. It's a 178 average. He's got a ground ball batting average of just 0.73. Of course, ground balls are outs in the big leagues, people. They can be productive outs, but they're outs.
Stuff.
And then that moves us on to the worst part of the show, Jolly, the IL, the guys that are placed on the IL. Miami outfielder Dane Myers, right oblique strain, 6 weeks plus. That's a tough one. Oswaldo Cabrera, he's out for 2025. He had surgery on it. That one was really tough to watch. Shout out to our guy Oswaldo. Really loved him. Ian Happ, left oblique strain. That's tough for my guy, the ultimate professional. Ben Lively had some right forearm, flexor tendon strain. Hopefully
That's
that
scary.
doesn't sound good.
That's scary.
Do they have an update on that? I'm just sending good vibes. TJ McFarland, Roki Sasaki for the Dodgers goes on the IL. Now they have Blake Snell, Glasnow, and Tim on the IL. Clayton Kershaw to save the day. Corey Seager goes on the IL. He's got a right hammy strain. That's tough for Texas as they're looking to continue to go a little bit with that offense. Tanner Houck goes on the IL. You kind of had a feeling that was coming, right? Elbow strain. Part injury healing, part mechanical and mental healing is what they're saying. That makes a lot of sense. Bryce Miller on the IL for the Seattle Mariners. And this is a little bit better. Let's get the weekend started with guys returning from the IL. Kendall Graven comes back. So there's a relief pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Derek Hill comes back for Miami. IKF came back off of the IL for the Pirates. Higashioka comes back for Texas. DJ LeMahieu back on the field for the Yankees, wearing long pants this year.
Yeah,
People
it looks
did not
weird.
like
Didn't
that.
like it.
Let DJ wear whatever the freak he wants. Would you rather him in Carlos Santana shorts?
Always. Always.
Maybe we should do that. Ramon Urias comes back. Ryan Weathers for Miami, and then Josh Lowe for Tampa comes back as well. We love seeing all those guys come back, but you know what I love more than anything? Hearing Kelsey's voice. Let's start everyone's weekend. Do you want to lead it off, or do you want me to lead it off?
I can lead it off if you need. You've been
Okay,
yapping a
you
lot
lead
this
off. I'll
episode.
drive you in, Pop. What do you got?
I'm giving out the Big Smooth Award this week. And that's because
Big Smooth?
It's one of my favorite nicknames in baseball, Trev.
Okay.
It was for one of the guys that I really like to watch pitch in the 2010s.
Oh.
His name is Drew Pomerantz.
Yeah.
Very quietly, he's put together a nice little run for our Chicago Cubs. We talk a lot about the Cubs. We talk about Kyle Tucker. We talk about Dansby Swanson in May. PCA has been going off. Jameson Tyon's hurling the pill. You don't really hear a lot about their bullpen. And when you do, you probably think of guys like Porter Hodge and Ryan Presley, although he's been struggling. But one guy who has up to 8 2/3 innings this year, no earned runs, and just 4 base runners allowed is Drew Pomerantz. Now, it's been an incredibly small sample, but I wanted to highlight him because I've been trying to find a way to talk about him. It's very, very rare that you see a guy pitch at age 32 and then go away for 3 full years and not have it be the end of his career. But Drew Pomerantz at age 36 has turned back the clock, and he's pitching well for the Chicago Cubs. My biggest question for this Cubs team was, how are you going to get outs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning? And so far, they've been able to do that. And a big reason why is this guy's presence. Since 2020, a little butter knife for you. 53 innings, a 1.36 ERA, a whip under 1 has been Drew Pomerantz at age 31, 32, and now 36. I really like this quote from him. He said this to MLB.com when he made his debut against the Phillies this year after he struck out Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, by the way. I was thinking I was done playing baseball last summer. I had a good spring training and I pitched pretty well. It's good enough for me to get here. Again, I'm just happy to be here. It feels like the first time all over again. And I thought that was really sweet because some guys just aren't ready to let go of the game. Drew Pomerantz wasn't. It felt like the game was pushing him away, whether it was injuries or getting cut from rosters because he was quote unquote too old. Well, the Cubs gave him a chance. He's proven them right, and he gets the Big Smooth award from me.
I like that. Been in the league since 2011. He's got over 11 years of service time, so congrats on that. 2018 World Series for Pomerantz, a one-time All-Star. I'm going to go off script here. I think he married like his wife that comes from like a really wealthy family. Not that he necessarily needs that, but like snap for you as well. That's just a little inside baseball knowledge for you. No, I've always been a fan of his, and he is Big Smooth. 6'5", 246 listed?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. Great award, Jolly.
Thanks, man.
You know what? This is when we get a pinch runner for you. You get the base knock. We pinch run for you. Take the cleats off. You know, put your turfs on. Get a handful of gummy bears and just watch the rest of the freaking show. Because I am giving out the Hail Bop Comet Award.
Showing your
and
age
for people
again.
my age, I remember this. Okay, this was a comet that was in the sky. Jolly, imagine this: you're looking up at the night sky. I'm driving home from the valley to Castaic, a 15-minute drive. I'm like, why do we live out here, Dad? Can't we live closer to everything we do? This is ridiculous. I'm looking up at the sky. It's the Hail Bop Comet. 18 months this thing was in the sky. A comet, dude, with a comet trail, and it was just like, what the fuck is going on, dude? It was crazy. Can you imagine that?
Was this before technology was around?
Kind of. This is like 97, I believe it was. Like,
no one was on their
right
phones. Everyone was just
technology,
living in the moment, staring at the
Look at
comet.
this
There it
thing.
is. There it is.
Can you imagine that just being in the sky? It was crazy, dude. People would freak out nowadays. With technology and social media, people would freak out. And people did freak out. Heaven's Gate happened, which was like a mass suicide where they all had like
what
$5
is
in their
happening
pocket.
right now?
Yes. You missed out on this because you were too young. Were you even alive?
I
in
wasn't
97?
alive. I'm 99.
Oh my God. The world was a different time back there. Okay. I'm serious. This is a serious thing. So
I can't wait to see you
37
connect this
people
back to baseball.
Drank some applesauce with some poison in it, had $5 in their pockets. They were wearing Nike shoes, dressed in all black. It was a weird thing. They did it like 2 by 2. So it wasn't like just like all at once. And they were like a ring. Okay, just go look that up if you want. It's very disturbing, actually.
I promise. I won't.
But I remember this comment. It had a huge impact on me as a kid because I was like, what the hell is going on right now? There's another comment that's having a huge impact on my life in a more positive way, I believe. And that is my guy, Hae-Sung Kim, whose nickname is the Comet.
Nice.
Now, he was just brought up by the Dodgers. And when he signed, everyone's like, what the freak is going on here? Who is this guy? He's a speedster. Like, what are the Dodgers going to do with this guy? This guy is freaking awesome to watch play ball. If you haven't seen him, you're going to hear about Mookie and Freddie and Shohei and Will Smith and all these other guys on the Dodgers. But Ha-Seong Kim might be the funnest guy to watch on that team. I was at the game on Tuesday. He has an infield hit, hits his first home run as well. Shohei did the same thing, by the way, infield hit, homer in the same game. Watching those two, because Ha-Seong's 5'10", not sure if that's even true. And Shohei do it together. It was kind of like big bro, little bro right there. But this guy's 28 at-bats, 12 hits. He's already scored 9 runs. He plays electric defense. I saw him make a diving stop up the middle. The Dodgers, I think, needed something like this, a guy like this, kind of near the bottom of their order, because they have a lot of like vets that like drive the ball to the ballpark. But in the day and age where we're seeing guys, just cause havoc on the base pass and play good defense, those guys are getting more and more valuable. This is the Dodgers version of that. He's going to set up and play second base. Here's the play right here. Makes that look so easy.
Beautiful. On the dot, too. That's a nice throw.
On the dot. He looks great. I think he's going to end up being one of the unsung heroes of the Dodgers in this campaign of theirs. I wanted to see what he had. He's just 26 years old. I wanted to see what he had. And seeing him up close and personal was very, very impressive. And I think if you haven't noticed, like if you haven't seen this guy, he's got 3 stolen bases already, by the way. How many games? 5 games, I believe, played.
I think so.
12 games played, excuse me. 3 stolen bases. Not all of those are starts, I don't think. Just watch out for this guy, because the Comet is a perfect word for him. He's going to make you stop and stare and wonder, what the hell is going on out there? That's pretty cool. So shout out my guy, Ha-Seong Kim. Shout out the Dodgers to just continue to find ways to win, even though they have so many injuries.
I was going to say, they're missing a ton of guys right now. They lost Edmund.
And that is my Hail Bob Comet Award. Jolly. Read a book one time, bro.
Dalton Rushing just called up too. Youth movement in the LA area.
Austin Barnes gets DFA'd, which is kind of crazy. He's been there for quite some time.
10 years.
And I think that's our show, Jolly. I really appreciate you coming in and filling in for Jake. You're always the best. This company owes you a great deal. I will say that right now. We wouldn't be the same company without our dirty martini. You heard it here from me.
Thanks, Trev. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Hit the like and subscribe. Tell me I look like an idiot in my tie-dye shirt. I don't, but you can say it if you want.
Like your hat. It's a good hat. Leave it in the comments down below. I liked when you said that. That made me laugh.
Me and Lawrence Butler are like best friends.
Same here.